Hello everyone, welcome back, possibly, if you're back. We're on part 12, I think. Are we on 12? Do we want to help Tingle? I guess. We get the Picto thing immediately. This could be a while actually here. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we got nu. I don't know how to intonate that. I don't know what that is. Nu. I guess he's obviously assessing us, and you know is surprised. Onaji midori no fuku ni midori no boshi. Okay, onaji just meaning the same. And then Midori no Fuku, just green clothes. And then Ni, I think, is like basically acting as and in this. It's like two the same green clothes, a green bolshi, which is a hat. Midori no bolshi, a green hat. So two green clothes, a green hat. It kind of acts as and, basically, that Ni. Green clothes and a green hat. And then Sono Sungata Onushi. I think that's like maybe Sono Sungata. You know, I think that maybe the sentence is ended there. He's just sort of stating that look. Sono Sungata. Sungata is one's form, basically, one's shape. So I guess he's assessing our entire, you know, our clothes, how we look, just everything about us, basically, our shape and our style, everything. Onushi. Onushi is just you. The kanji for nushi is the kanji for like lord, master, also maybe husband in like goshujin. Goshujin is like maybe sort of potentially offensively nowadays. In fact, it's like main person is kind of the kanji meaning. I don't know if that's what they actually are supposed to mean. But yeah, rather offensively, husband is the word main person. And a wife isn't the main person, according to Japanese kanji, at least. But like I say, I don't know if that's the word, if that's the meaning they meant by those kanji being used together or what. Maybe it's just I don't know, an unfortunate coincidence. Anyway, onushi. So this is, yeah, it just means you, I guess, you know, onushi. Yosei-san dewa. I wonder if that's Yosei-san dewa nai desu ka? As in, are not you a fairy? Kind of Mr. Fairy is kind of what's going on there. Yeah, Yosei-san. I don't know how to translate it really. A fairyist. A fairy person, and then dewa. I don't know if he was going to negate that to say, "Are not you a fairy person?" But yeah, I'm not sure what dewa's actually doing. But there you go. Wow. Okay, so he said, "Wow." Boku no terepashi o kanji totte tasuke ni kite kuretan desho. Tasuke ni kite kuretan desho? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see. And then desho? Just kind of triple checking rhetorically for agreement, I guess, kind of thing. So wow is just wow. Boku no terepashi. So that's telepathy. Telepathy. I can't even say it in English now. Boku is just a way of saying I. It's quite modest. For men to say boku means I think the kanji for boku literally means slave. So it's well, not, sorry, no, not slave. Let me backpedal on that. It sort of means servant. Yeah, I guess boku, you know, read in this way, kind of places you as sort of a servant of someone. It's very modest, basically. It doesn't mean servant in this case, but it's modest. I suppose it, you know, it has a similar vibe to being one's servant, a sort of, yeah, similar energy, if you like. Anyway, boku no telepathy, my telepathy, wo kanji totte, kanjiru is to feel, or to detect, I guess, to feel, basically. Yeah, to feel something. And I guess this is kanji te, wait a minute, kanji totte. Oh, kanji toru. Must be kanji toru. Give me a second. It's not going to change the meaning much, but I'd better look. Yeah, just to feel. Kanji toru. I wonder if I wonder if it's just in the sense of he was outputting, obviously, his telepathy. He was putting something out there to be felt, and we took that. We took that feeling. We took and felt what he put out, maybe. But anyway, regardless, you could probably leave that off. Just say kanji ta, kanji te. So we felt his telepathy, and tasuke ni kite kureta. So taskeru is to help, and he's obviously gone tasuke because he just wants the stem, so he can put ni, and then, like I'm sure we've seen in this series already, we've got kuru on the end of that, so that would literally be come to help. Come to help. But obviously he's using the te form, kite kureta. So this is sort of you came, for me. You came kind of as a favour to me to help, sort of thing. And then just for inquisition. And then desho, just as I said already, kind of a rhetorical agreement seeky thing. And then desho again, and then desho again. Just says it 3 times for fun. Okay. Alright. Nani mo iwanakute mo chinkuru ni wa wakarun da zo to. So nani mo, basically nani mo means anything or nothing with a negative verb, which is what he's used it with here. Obviously iwanai is the negative of to say. So it's like say nothing. Nani mo iwanai is like, I will not say anything. But iwanakute mo means, even if nothing is said, even if you say nothing. Chinkuru ni wa, to tinkle or to me. Some people use their own names to say I. Makes me a bit uncomfortable, but I think it's quite normal, actually. More normal, I thought, among women, but he's deciding to say it. Unless that gives him a bit of a feminine vibe, I'm not sure. But yeah, chinkuru ni wa, so to tinkle, wakaru. It is understood, to tinkle. Or it will be understood. That's, that sort of thing. And then just for inquisition, da, just a declarative, zo, just adding a bit of a vibe changey force thing. And then to might not actually be doing anything. That might just be something that he sort of says in Japanese. Wakarun da zo to. Yeah, I don't know what that to's doing actually. It could be quoting. But then there's no verb with it, so it's difficult for me to tell. So we'll assume it's just a funny thing that he says. We'll see if we get confirmation on that later. Boku no namae wa chinkuru. So just obviously my name regarding tinkle. So regarding my name, it's tinkle basically. Yousei ni naritaku te. Onushi tachi o sagashite ita noda. It's interesting that he's saying noda instead of just unda on this occasion. Because I don't think there's any difference, but he's decided to say no instead of un. In fact, that's something to point out, actually. If you see un, like in perhaps the last one, wakarunda, that is a shortening of wakaru noda. So I don't know why he's not shortening it in this text box, but never mind. Yosei ni naritaku te. This is the desire form of naru. So from naru, it becomes naritai, meaning to want to become, or becoming is desirable is very literal because naritai is actually technically an adjective. But it translates better as want to become. And basically with naru, you tend to use ni as its particle. So I want to become to a fairy. I want to become a fairy. But at this point, he's going to give us further information or maybe a reason for why he wants to do that. No, he's not. Yosei naritaku. I feel like this is the reason that he was doing this part of the sentence. So he's used the te form. So it's like I want to become a fairy, so kind of, but so isn't really explicitly stated. But you can kind of do this with the te form. You could just say, like, for example, I don't know, let's say Attack on Titan or mitaku te. That's, you know, I want to watch Attack on Titan, and then Netflix ni subscribe shimashita or something. Is it even subscribe? Subsku. Subsku is a shortening of subscribe. Subsku shimashita. So I subscribed to Netflix because I want to watch Attack on Titan or whatever, you know. That's just an example. That's all that's going on here. So I want to become a fairy, so... or nushitachi, meaning you and your kind, you and your party, you know, people like you, your kind, I guess. O sagashite ita. Sagasu is to search. Sagashite ita, that's just was searching, basically. And then not for explanation. And then da, just a declarative. Dakedo, ayashii hito ni machigawarete. Okay. Konna tokoro ni ilerarete shimatta. Okay. So, dakedo, basically just meaning but. Ayashii hito ni machigawarete. Ayashi basically means suspicious or, you know, yeah, suspicious, mysterious in kind of a negative way, sort of maybe kind of unpleasant, perhaps even creepy. Hito, so, you know, an unpleasant person. Ni, I guess that's acting as for an unpleasant person. Machigau is to mistake. So machigawareru is the passive, so to be mistaken for a strange person or a, you know, a creep, I guess. Ayashi hito ni machigawarete. That's te form because he's gonna add further information. I was mistaken for a strange person. And konna tokoro ni, to this kind of place, to a place such as this. Ide darete shimatta. So ideru is to be put into, to, well, not to be put into, to put into, to enter into. But that's transitive, so you need to have an object to put into something else. So in this case, he is the object. And we know that he was put in here by someone else. And we literally know that. Because this is passive. I was put into here. Ire dareru is the passive of that. Ire dareru. But then we have te shimatta, just to add that kind of undesirable suffix. Shimau is kind of expresses an undesirable verb that happened. So ilerarete shimatta. I was undesirably put in here, put into this kind of place, having been mistaken as a creep. Matsaku. Shikkei dayo. Shikkei. That must be like rude, basically. Yeah, shikkei, rudeness, acting impolitely, disrespect. Yeah. So just, you know, that's, yeah, just kind of, I suppose, how rude, you know, how awful, how unpleasant of people to put him in here, sort of thing. Mattaku, I think, just kind of, it's basically a frustrated exclamation. Like people will just kind of say mattaku, or they'll just say taku. Weirdly, it often gets written with a chisai tsu first. I don't know how you kind of pronounce it. I guess you just kind of maybe just tuck. You kind of maybe build up breath first and then say taku. But But anyway, that's not what's being said here. Mataku. It could also be meaning completely or not at all. I've found that mataku is often used with negative verbs to mean, or negative forms of words to mean not at all, whatever the word is. You know, mataku mitenai would be like I haven't seen it at all. I haven't seen even a second of it or whatever. But it could be used. I think it's supposed to be used with negative things, but he could be using it here with this, and he's saying it's completely, you know, rude. It's so very utterly rude, kind of thing. Anyway, plenty of that. Ne Yosei-san. So now he's saying, hey, Mr. Fairy or whatever. Hayaku chinkuru o koko kara tsuredashite. Onushi no nakama no tokoro e tsuretette. Okay. So ne Yosei-san, we've done that, sorry. Hayaku chinkuru o koko kara tsuredashite. Hayaku, just quickly, basically. Chinkuru, that's his name, referring to himself. So quickly, me. Koko kara, from here. Tsuredasu. I guess tsuredasu is to take out of. Yeah, to take out, literally. That's all it says. Tsuredasu. So it's kind of to get out, I suppose. To get him out of there. Tsuredasu. Tsuredashite. Just making it the te form so that the sentence can continue. Onushi no nakama no tokoro e tsuretette. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I understand. All of this. Okay, that's good. Onushi. So again, this just saying you, and then not nakama. So your, and then nakama, meaning sort of your fellows. In this case, I guess, you know, your fellow fairies. And then we've got no again with tokoro. So the place of your fellows. Or rather, to, e is acting as to here. To the place of your fellows. Tsurete ite. I think it should be tsurete ite. In the sense of iku. The te form of iku is ite. But the e just gets omitted because it's easier to say or whatever. You know, doesn't matter why really. But it gets omitted. So tsuretette. So go on to, you know. Take me. Lead me going. Lead me going to the place of your fellows. You know, quickly get me out of here and take me to where your mates are, sort of thing. Alright. I don't have any friends, but I can get you out. Okay, yay. Thank you very much. So yeah, just English basically. Yay, thank you very much. It's interesting that you said macho, because that's, I guess, kind of a silly thing. They do know the word macho, I think, to mean macho, as in, you know, muscly, you know, kind of thing. So I wonder if it's just a bit of a joke playing on that. Ja. これはチンクルからの心ばかりのプレゼント. So having done that, basically with that, now, これは this, or regarding this, チンクルからの心ばかりのプレゼント. 心ばかり, I guess that just means like a token? Yeah, token, okay. Yeah, like a token of thanks, basically, is 心ばかり. So a present of a token of thanks from Tinkle. So that no's just needed there because it just is sometimes after other particles to link stuff. So yeah, this is a present of a token of my thanks from me. Oh, oi! Oh god, almost missed that. It was going to auto scroll. So we've got chinkuru, kururimpa, which is obviously just his nonsense kind of magic words, I think. Yeah, I don't think that really means anything, even in Japanese. It could do though. Chinkuru, kururimpa. And then itemu ni nare. So to an item, and then the imperative of naru. So that art is kind of in there for no real reason, just for the sound, maybe a unique spelling. Basically, the imperative of naru is just na and re, nare. But he's elongated it for dramatic effect, I guess. Item ni nare. So he's saying like, become an item, which is very strange. Well, in English, the translation isn't good. But there you go. That's not really how the word works in Japanese, so weird English will have to do. Here we have Chinkurushiba wo moratta. Chinkurushiba, so a tinkle sieva is kind of how they spelled it in Japanese, I guess. A tingle sieva. Or a tingle receiver, I guess, combination of those words. And then moratta, obviously just past tense, saying received the tingle receiver. And then komatta koto ga attara GBA to tsunaide chinkuru ni what's this? Soudan shio. I think that's right. Soudan. Yeah. Okay, good. So komaru is basically to be concerned or to be worried, or to be kind of distressed is probably the best translation, actually. Distressed. So komatta koto ga attara. So when or if there exists the phenomenon, or rather a phenomenon that is distressed, or I suppose less literally a distressing phenomenon, a distressing event or a distressing thing. When that exists, or if you encounter such a thing, GBA to tsunaide. Tsunagu is to be tethered, it's to be connected. But it's intransitive, so I'm a bit confused by this, actually. Tsunaide. GBA to tsunaide. It's sort of like, I don't know why that's intransitive. I don't know why they didn't say GBA. No, I think it's because, no one causes this to be connected to the GBA. Maybe. So it would just be like linked with a GBA. Kind of, I guess, maybe. Chinkuru ni to tinkle soudan shio. Sort of let's discuss to tingle, kind of. Or let's discuss with tingle, I guess. Chinkuru ni soudan shio. Hold on. GBA to tsunaide chinkuru ni soudan shio. No, I think that's the best you're going to get out of me, actually. That'll do. GBA o controller port 2から4に GBA ケーブルで接続してから YZX にセットして呼び出す。So GBA and then O, obviously we're going to do a verb to the GBA because we have this O here. Controller port 2 to 4, 2, so 2 controller port 2 to 4. GBA cable, just GBA cable. De, so via a GBA cable. Setsuzoku is just basically to connect. And then that, or rather it's a connection, and then we make it into a verb with suru. But in this case we've got te form, because we want to use this tense. Shite kara is quite good, using the te form of a verb, and then kara means having done that verb, something, then whatever information you want to add after it. So after connecting via a GBA cable to ports 2 to 4, controller ports 2 to 4, set, and then shite again, just the te form of suru, making set into a verb. So set to YZ or X, and then yobidasu is kind of like call out, call someone out. To summon, to call. Yeah, it's just to call him, basically. もうこれで肉体は離れ離れになっていても二人の心は一つ. So もうこれで is kind of like, I don't know what mo is in this case. もうこれで. So kind of with this, via this, having done this, or yeah, with this, basically, with this, I guess the tingle Siva he's talking about. No, it can't be, because if he were talking about the tingle Siva, surely it would be sorede, because he's just given it to us. Maybe it's with this event having happened, or something. More korede, so kind of any more, or from this point on, or already? I don't know, man. More korede. I'm not sure, but never mind. Doesn't really matter, probably. Nikutai wa... So nikutai is just literally meat body. And that just means kind of in the sense of, you know, one's body. It's one's physical body. One's fleshy body, I suppose. But nikutai wa, regarding our physical bodies, hanare banare. I'm just going to look that up because I just want to check that that's the actual pronunciation. Yeah, it totally is. Hanare banare. Hanareru is to sort of distance oneself from something else. Wait, is it transitive? It might be intransitive. Yeah, it's intransitive. Yeah, so you can distance yourself from someone else. You know, you can physically create distance between yourself and something else, but you cannot hanareru something from something else. I cannot hanareru my controller from anything else, really, because it's a different verb, because it's intransitive. So I think hanasu would be the transitive verb. I can hanasu my controller from anything else, but I can't hanareru it. Anyway, so hanare banare, I guess that's just a word meaning to be sort of split apart, to be very distant from one another. Ni natte itemo. Okay, that's interesting. So we've got the te form of naru, meaning to become sort of separated, or considerably separated, or whatever. Hanare banare ni natte. And then we've got itemo, which is iru. So we've got iru here, but we've got it in temo form. So it's like, even if we exist, having become separated from each other, or rather, even if we exist with our, you know, with our sort of physical bodies having become separated. Two people's hearts is one, basically. So, you know, basically we share one heart, because we both have this tingle Siva, or, you know, that's obviously quite literal, but he's basically saying, even if we are separate, we are still one, you know, thanks to the tingle Siva. Yeah. And then, ja, chinkuru Yosei-san no tokoro e iku junbi wo shite kuru ne. Mattete ne. Ja, so with that, now, chinkuru, tingle. Yosei-san no tokoro e iku junbi wo shite kuru ne. So I guess everything's modifying junbi. Junbi meaning preparations. So it's just preparations to go to the place of Mr. Fairy. So he's going to, you know, he's basically just saying, I'm going to make preparations to come with you to your, you know, to where you live, or whatever. Or, you know, not where you live, but, you know, where, yeah, kind of, but not in a creepy way. And we've got shite kuru. So I'm going to do that and then come. So I'm going to go off to do this preparations and then come back, basically. But you don't need the word back. You just say shite kuru. I will go do this thing and then come. And then ne, just rhetorically seek an agreement. And then matte ite ne. Again, ideally it would be ite, but that gets omitted like all the time. It would be kind of weird if he did say it, but it would be more friendly to lower level Japanese learners to see it used. But yeah, mattete ne. So it means literally like exist in a state of waiting. Or please exist in a state of waiting, basically. He could have just said matte ne, but it does ever so slightly change the vibe to put mattete ne. People like mattete. They will often use it. I guess it just kind of... I don't know what it does, really. I don't know. It does slightly change the vibe. You know, you could say wait, please wait. Or you could say, please... I don't know, please be waiting. It's kind of, you know, it doesn't translate well, but it's slight difference. Slight different nuance. And then ne again, rhetorically seeking agreement. Oh. Ah, daiji na koto wasurete ta. So just a noise. Daiji, meaning important, basically. Daiji na, obviously this is a na adjective because we need na to put it onto the noun. Daiji na koto. So koto is just a thing, basically. I forgot something. I forgot an important thing. But it's funny, actually, because he's saying wasure teta. I existed having forgot. Having forgotten something important. He could have just said wasure ta, but I guess we've got a similar thing as with the matteta before. He wants to say wasure teta instead of wasureta. Not really different, so never mind. But yeah, I forgot something important. Oh. What is this? Okay, Yosei-san. So, Mr. Fairy. Boku no shima ni kitai yo ne. My island to kitai, just, you know, want to come, desire to, it is desirable to come to my island. And then yone, just kind of like saying, what is yone? It kind of, the yo kind of adds force of like a, the yo kind of adds a bit more declaration to a statement, and the ne then kind of, I suppose it more forcefully kind of seeks agreement rhetorically, which is a bit weird, but you know, that's just, yeah, I guess they do just work together. And then we have mengo, which is just a reversal of gomen. So kind of funny. I don't know why he's doing that. He's just a weird guy, I guess. He's doing it as well. Chinkuru no mappu o te ni ireta. That's interesting that this text in this text box is centered. Usually it's aligned left, isn't it, when you get an item? But this is centered. That's kind of weird. Maybe that's a mistake. It'd be funny if it was. So obviously, you know, you entered into the hand the tingle map, and then donna mappu daro? You know, just literally, what kind of map is it, right? Kind of thing. Yeah. Umi ni detara jujiki ue de mite mio. So to the ocean, detara, when or if, basically, when or if you deru to the ocean. Deru is just to, you know, to sort of to go out into the ocean. I suppose it's just to leave an island and to go out onto the ocean or into the ocean or whatever. So if or when you go out into the ocean, up on the D-pad, de, just meaning using up on the D-pad, mite mio, let's try looking at it after going out onto the ocean or into the ocean. Umi ni detara kiite mite yo. Oh no, sorry. Hiraite mite yo. Hiraite mite yo. I don't know how to intonate that. So umi ni detara, if or when, again, you go out into the sea. Hiraku is to open something. I know it's used for doors in Zelda. I don't know why. Because there is the verb akeru, which is to open. So I don't know the difference, but for some reason there are two opens, both of which are transitive. And I think, and I don't know when they're preferred over one another. But there you go. Umi ni detara hiraite mite yo. So when you go out into the ocean, try opening it, and then with yo at the end for force. Mappu no koto nara chinkuru ni omakase. Okay, So mappu no koto nara, when or if it comes to kind of, what is no koto? Things of maps, or phenomena of maps. Kind of that's wrong. That's not right. Sometimes you just put koto in. Something no koto, like watashi no koto. You sometimes say. And you say it kind of like, it basically just means me or I. But for some reason, koto is preferred sometimes. So he's basically just saying when it comes to, or if it is about maps. Did something just move in the cell? I feel like something just moved in the cell, and I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe not. So he's basically just saying, when or if it comes to maps. To tinkle, and then makaseru is to kind of leave in charge. Like kind of leave it to tinkle is what he's saying. But he's saying omakase. So he's using the stem with the honorific o, which is kind of polite language, but also maybe not quite. It's a bit funny. It's a bit funny. People won't say that in like customer service roles or whatever, but they might write it in advertisements maybe. Anyway, yeah, so leave it to tinkle basically if it is regarding maps. Zettai wasurenai de yo ne. So zettai means basically unceasingly, forever, definitely, absolutely. And then wasurenai de. This is just a negative request. The te form is usually how you request things, maybe, like tabete. Kind of light and casual, not forceful, but, not appropriate with, some people because it's a bit casual, but that's basically how you ask to do things. Tabete, wasurete, ite. And for the negative, you just use the negative verb, wasurenai, and then you put de at the end. And that means don't forget in this case. And then yone, again, just kind of vibe changes. Okay. Mappu no koto nara. So when it comes to maps, wasurenai yo. So he's gone a bit more forceful this time. This is like wasureru na. Which is the negative imperative, just the base form of the verb wasureru, and then na is how you say the negative imperative. But as I may have mentioned in a previous part, rus or any of the R line characters sometimes just change into an N sound. So instead of wasureru na, it's become wasurenna. They change into N's when they're followed by an N. Actually do that? Yeah, they do. Yeah, like wakaranai, you have a nai at the end, so instead of being wakaranai, people will just say wakanai. I think I've already discussed that, so never mind. Wasurenai yo, and then just yo for a bit more force. Okay, I guess I'll try and get... What am I doing here, dude? I've forgotten how to play this game. I guess I'll try and get the Picto thing. And then we'll leave it. Probably not going to read the things in there. What's the fastest way here? Uh-oh. Don't want to go down the rat zones. Whatever they are, mice. Yosha! Oh. Yeah, boy. Oi. So we got back like left aligned text here. That's kind of funny. Utsushie no bako, maybe. Or teni ireta, so of course, you know, you entered into the hand. The utsusu is... Excuse me. It's like it's a transitive verb. It kind of means to copy. Utsusu, I guess to photograph or to copy, to emulate. Let's look it up. It will give us some English words. Don't know how to translate it. Utsusu, to project, oh no, that's a different kanji. To transcribe, to duplicate, to reproduce, to picture, to photograph. You know, it's utsushi e. So it's like a photograph image. Like e is basically picture. Utsushi e. This is usually read as hako, meaning box, but I feel like it's probably pronounced bako in this case, just to make it, I don't know, it just feels better to me. Utsushi no bako. It could be hako, utsushi no hako. It could be hako. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Yeah, so the box of, you know, photograph pictures. Or whatever. Itemu gamen wo dashite. So yeah, just sort of, you know, present or get out the item screen. YZOX doreka ni. So doreka is just saying, you know, which of them, meaning I suppose in this case any of them. Any of YZ or X. So to any of YZ or X. Setto shite tsukao. Set it. That's obviously shite is just the te form making set into a verb. Setto shite tsukao. And tsukau is to use. So tsukao is just volitional, saying like, you know, let's use it after setting it to any of YZ or X after getting out the item screen. Totta utsushi wa sanmai made nokoseru. Okay. So this is kind of funny. It's quite a funny overlap between English and Japanese, is that we say to take a picture. We have the verb to take in the sense of, you know, to take something. And we have also the same verb to take for, you know, producing a photograph, to take a photograph. And the same thing works in Japanese, weirdly. So toru is to take, you know, to take something, an object. And toru is also, with a different kanji, is also to take a photo. So totta utsushie. So kind of taken photos, I guess. Taken photos, regarding taken photos. Sanmai made, until 3. Nokoseru. Nokosu is to... it's transitive for a start. Nokosu is kind of to leave. It's sort of intentionally to leave something, I suppose. To cause to remain, to save over, to leave over, to leave. Or maybe save in this case. It's probably a good translation, isn't it? To save. And the nokoseru is just a potential form of that. So you can save until 3. And then mai is just the counter for flat objects. Photos are, of course, flat. So, you know, pieces of paper will take this counter. Mai. CDs take this counter. Anything kind of flat takes mai as its counter. Sanmai. And then aru de kirikaete nagameyo. So using are, kirikaeru is to alternate, basically to switch between things, to alternate things. So yeah, kirikaete nagameyo. Nagameru is just, you know, to look at, to gaze at. Nagameru, I guess just to look at very intently. But yeah, nagameyo, just volitional, saying let's look at them, using R and all that. Cool. Yeah, I guess that's that. That's 45 minutes, so that's probably a good amount. Cool. What do I need to say? Not a lot, I don't think. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, don't if you don't. Sub if you want, don't if you don't. Thanks to my patrons. Yeah, hope it was worth watching, and I'll catch you next time.